luminaries, and welcome back to the Luz Gonzalez Show. Today we are going to be talking about how do we build a digital expert's business. You are an expert in some part of your life. Maybe you've worked in an industry. Maybe you just have an incredible experience that makes you really qualified to share your message, to share your expertise, your skills. You're just really good at something, and maybe you're not doing enough with it. We can turn that into a multiple digital products, or we can turn that into a digital empire, into a digital business. And in this episode, we are going to be talking about 7 easy steps that you can follow to create your business. Ambitious would be in a day. You could do it in a day, but definitely get you started in a week. So if you want to learn more, follow me to the other side. Alright, welcome back. I am so excited for this video. So as I mentioned in the introduction, I have had so many conversations. I literally just got off the phone right now and had this same conversation where I was speaking with this extremely talented woman who has a decade of experience in her field. And she is, okay, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent, but it totally will lead us back to our 7 steps. And it's really relevant. And it's part of the reason that I am so excited to be doing this work that I'm doing, and to also be telling you about this newest program that is going to launch early May. So in an Instagram post and on a Facebook Live that I did, I'll share the graphic here. So in terms of thinking what you should be dedicating your life to, what sort of career, what sort of business you should be working on, right? Like there's a very simple way to think about what is the right answer for you. And had I had access to this, it would have saved me like 10 years, but here we are. Now I just have a long time of perspective to add to today's video. So as you may have heard, if you are new here, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to find in the description all the ways that we can work together. But anyway, so for those who've been around, or if you're new, I have had a very interesting professional career. It started in nonprofits. I worked for the government. I was a teacher. I did, let's see, what next? Then I did law school, where I focused on international criminal law and international human rights law. And I even spent some time at the ACLU. And then I was like, no, that's not for me. And then I went to work for a startup. Then I started my own startup, and now I'm here. And the reason that I bring this up is, and I was just having this conversation with someone, there's, for the graphic that I showed, where these 3 circles meet. And these 3 circles are the circle of your career, or your passion, or your calling, whatever it's gonna be that you're gonna dedicate your life to. Really for me, the answer has always needed to be impact. Am I having a global, transformative, positive impact? Then the next circle that intersects is the circle of your profit, the money, the amount of money that you would like to be making, bringing into your life. And then the last piece is the lifestyle piece. So had I had this way of thinking about things, it could have really sped things up for me, but hey, now I just have a decade of perspective that I get to share with you guys here and through my programs. So if we start at the beginning, nonprofits, that definitely hit the impact piece, right? It was, the calling, the passion, the doing good work that mattered. But as I thought about it, I don't come from a lot of money, and I didn't want to take a vow of poverty for the rest of my life. And so that always felt off when I was in the world of nonprofits. It was just like, we're always begging for money, and I just don't like that. And so it just wasn't my cup of tea. And lifestyle was okay depending on the nonprofit that I was at. It was all right. It wasn't like amazing. And then let's see, next let's go to when I was a teacher. The impact piece wasn't there for me because I'm really interested in widespread impact, right? In reaching the lives of millions of people through the work that I do. And as a teacher, I was doing a lot of one-on-one work. It was really impactful, transformative work. It was really meaningful and super, shout out to all the teachers out there, sending you so much love. But I knew that my calling and the way that I was born and like what I wanted from my life, the impact piece wasn't there. The money piece was not there at all. Definitely not in the amount of money that I wanted to make, which I want to be absolutely financially free. And there's ways to structure your finances. So potentially you could do that as a teacher. If you're a teacher, you could also build an expertise business, which we're going to be talking about here. And then the last piece was the lifestyle, and that was okay. It wasn't terrible. Governments, the lifestyle was not great. The profit wasn't great either. And then you also think of the potential for profit, right? But the impact, it was there. Although my conception of how that would look has evolved. Then I did law school, and being in the legal field, lifestyle is definitely a problem. If I wanted to do really meaningful work, that, the sort of work that I was interested in doing, the money was not going to be there. The impact was there. And so again, it was just, and had I known this, I would have been like, oh, let's speed this up. We don't have 3 goes. We don't have 3 green. And then I did startups, right? And in startups, the potential for impact definitely there. And so we're getting closer. It's like, what's the girl, Goldilocks, and and the 3 chairs that it's been a long time since I've heard that story. She finally finds the right one, right in the middle. So we're getting closer. We're getting closer to the Goldilocks, the 3 circles coming together. And so impact is there. There's the potential for the sort of income that I wanted to have. But it was really, really far down the line if we were, honest, unless we somehow just had this incredible product that in the next 5 years or 3 years revolutionized everything. And so then I became a billionaire overnight. That didn't happen. And then the lifestyle piece was not there. The lifestyle piece was not there at all. There was a lot of friction in terms of the lifestyle. So now that I'm doing coaching and specifically building a digital business where I can share my peak performance expertise and the business tools like this video here, this feels perfect. So if we look at the impact, cha-ching, the impact is there. I am working with such incredible people and having them really own their power, having them have more ambitious goals that are going to completely change their lives and the lives of everyone around them. And the profit piece is there, right? My coaches have made 20 million a year, right? So that's my mark. I'm like, I want to be at the multi-millions mark. Not there yet, but definitely working on it. And then the lifestyle piece is always there. I was definitely there. I want to be a mom, right? And I've always had this dream. As long as I can remember, I've had this dream of being a mom. And when I looked at each of these prior options, it was just like, am I gonna have enough time for my kids and my husband? And it was just like, they didn't fit in. But now, with a green going for all of these, right? Having the sort of the money that's coming in that allows for the lifestyle that I want to have, and I get to pursue something that impacts the world. I get to have a global impact. I get to work with incredible entrepreneurs and individuals. I get to work with companies. It all fits. And so now I'm like, here I've landed. And where I've landed is the world of creating a digital experts business empire, really, if you know, this is the Go Big channel. And so it all fits, which is why I'm so excited to be doing this video. And also there is a new program that is going to be a monthly program where we're going to be talking about more information about how you too can take your expertise. You know, maybe you've wondered like, I wonder if there's more money that I can make. I wonder if I can have a lifestyle that allows me to be the mom that I want to be, the dad that I want to be, the friend that I want to be, that allows me to travel. I wonder if I can have a sort of impact in the world that is meaningful to me, if I can do this work that really is a calling for me. And the answer is yes, through this digital experts business. And so every month, every second Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. and it could change if I have an event or a seminar or something that's being put on or I'm speaking somewhere, but every second Tuesday of the month, yes, so once a month, second Tuesday of the month, we are going to be going live for 2 hours where we are going to be exploring all of these foundational tools, especially for people who want to get started in building an experts business, an experts empire, who want to take the years and years of their experiences, of their skills, and turn that into a business that consistently brings in income. How amazing would it be for you to go to sleep and wake up and know that the money is coming in the door, and that's going to happen every single month, and you get to work from wherever in the world you want. That's why I was able to move to Austin. Right now I'm location independent. I can work whatever hours I want, so I get to be the sort of mom that I want to be. It's incredible. And so I just get so excited to share how you too can, maybe you're not going to do this full time right away, but maybe you start working on it. So would you be really upset if you had extra income coming in every month, if you had, you know, if you put together your years of expertise and experience and skills, and that was providing an extra, you know, a few thousand a month? Or you start for the first time in your life creating that sort of income for yourself. That's what's possible with building an experts business, a digital experts business. And so let's jump in to the 7 easy, super simple steps for you to start an experts business. Basically, you could do this in a day if you got really ambitious, but you can do this within a week. And then, so the thing to know is that this is gonna take work. I am not the puppies and rainbows coach. You're not gonna come to my channel and I'm just gonna have you like dream something up and expect that it's gonna happen. No, this is gonna be work, and you're gonna be doing research, and it's gonna take you some time, especially number 7. That's gonna have you actually, you'll learn what number 7 is, but you're gonna have to do extra work there. But after you complete number 7, you will have, you know, potentially, you have to get your marketing right. And we're going to talk about the marketing, how to market your products, both digitally, so like online, offline, on social media, learning the best practices in terms of social media. But you will have something to sell by the end of doing all of the steps that we are going to be talking about here. So let's get started. And I have my notes here to make sure that we are on track. So number 1, well, before number 1, who is an expert? What's an expert? An expert is anyone who has the skills, the expertise, the experience to be able to guide someone else in getting the results that they are seeking, so that this other person is seeking. So that's an expert. So you can be an expert mom. You could be someone, you've had 4 kids, 2 kids, and your kids are thriving and healthy and happy. And I bet you that there's other moms out there who are like, I want to learn from you. You can turn that into a digital product. You can turn that into a digital business. And we're going to be talking about that. So you could also be a lady that I spoke to this week. She was marketing executive, and she's ran these huge corporations, right? These huge companies, and has an entire lifetime of experience. How many of us would like to learn from her experience and what it means to run teams at that level, what it means to just like have an organization of that size be successful and do it continuously? So your expertise can look all kinds of different ways. Maybe you've been through, a health journey, you've been through something, and now you have people ask you questions about a specific thing. You can turn that into a business. And again, that's really exciting. So that is an expert. So number one, we want to start with the foundations. So you cannot start any business without knowing these two basic pieces. You need to know what is the problem that you're solving and who are you solving it for. So who is your target audience and what exactly is the problem? So here's an example of something that doesn't work. I want to make everyone happy. That's not a clear and concise problem. I need you to have a very distinct problem that you're solving and that you can help someone have results around. And it's going to be probably a specific group of people. So an example for me is working with people who have always thought of, sharing their expertise. Maybe they've thought about starting a podcast. They've thought about, doing an online course. They've thought about creating a subscription program, a monthly subscription program like the ones that I have. And they just don't know how to get started, or even just getting things up, right? Just getting their website up and building their list. So I help people who are not there yet, who want to get started and who want to, maybe you're a business owner who wants to take the incredible work that you already do and start bolstering that by building a brand, by having more people engage with you in this digital sense. And so the problem that I solve is people not knowing where to start, how to start, what tools to use, how to do the marketing, how to go through the actual steps of building these products, of building the online course, of building the subscription. It just seems overwhelming. That's the people that would be perfect for this kind of offering. Like this woman that I spoke to, she has like 10 years in marketing, and she hasn't done anything. I'm like, oh my God, you're sitting on so much wealth. You're sitting on such incredible experience. We need to get you to start taking these steps. So you have to know the problem and the audience, right? So for me, the very specific audience are people who they've thought about it. They want to create this, experts business. They have years and years of learning something, of doing something, an expertise in something, and they're wondering how they can turn that into an expert's business. And so that's for me. Now for you to, a little tool for you to think about what it is the problem that you solve and who you do it for and what results you get them. We're gonna use this helpful tool right here. So you are going to answer, and you can go ahead and answer it now. I help blank do / achieve / become blank so that blank. Another way to think about it, and this is basically your elevator pitch. You've probably heard of an elevator pitch. An elevator pitch is if you were on an elevator and somebody asked you, so what do you do? Within about 30 seconds, you're going to explain what it is that you do, for who you do it, and what sort of results you get from them. And so your elevator pitch will include, this is another way for you to think about it. My clients are blank, so this is your target market, who have the challenge of blank. What's the problem you're trying to solve? And you help them blank. What's the result that you help them achieve? And so these are just the foundations. Now we're gonna get into strategy and what are the things that you need to do. And if you want a lot more guidance here, this is just gonna be a short video. And you guys know that short with me, and what are we at? We're at 20 minutes. So if you want more content, more information, more guidance, you definitely want to join our Business Fundamentals Monthly, which is gonna start in May. All right, so first step after figuring out, so I guess number two. Number two is I need you to get your website up. Yes, I want you to take action. This is something that you can do today. So unless if you're listening to this at like 10 p.m. and you go to sleep at 10 p.m., you can get this up and running. So you're gonna do a couple of things. You're going to purchase the domain for your name. We're gonna have this be centered around your name. You are building, you are a brand. And you might be thinking, Luz, but I wanna do this for my business. Okay, if you wanna do this for your business, go ahead and do it for your business. But I want you to also own your name. If you don't already own it, you need to go buy it right now. So my website is luzcgonzalez.com. And I think I bought that over a decade ago. Like I bought it a long time ago. I didn't know exactly what I was gonna do with it. But you have to own your name. And so maybe you're like John Smith and you're like, well, but maybe you have a middle name. And if John Smith, maybe you have a second last name. But try to get something. And I would say do not go for John Smith 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Try to make it something, if John Smith is taken, make it something that speaks to the problem that you're gonna solve. If there's just no workaround, try to get creative so you can have your name. Also, this is a super random note. If you are pregnant and if you're having kids, you want to make sure that the domain for your kid is available for the name. So you're not gonna name your kid John Smith because that's not gonna be available. And so as soon as your baby, and I know that some of my friends do this, like as soon as the baby is born, I want you to have the domain ready to go. I want you to have the Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram handle. These are gonna be things that are gonna be important for all of us. And so if you don't already have these things for yourself, if you don't have your domain for your name, if you don't have the Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter, like all the things, you want to go out there and get them ASAP. So the first thing that we needed to do is you're going to create a website. The website is going to be tied to your name, this domain that you either already have or you're going to go buy. The next question is, well, how do I buy a domain, Luz? That sounds really technical. But the other thing in terms of my audience, I work with people that are not technical, right? So how do we do this? Feeling uncomfortable with tech. I'm gonna hold your hand and walk you through the friendliest tools that are out there that are gonna make it as simple and easy as possible for you to execute and get your business up and running and making money. So you can go to GoDaddy.com and it's really simple. You just do a search for the name of the domain, and you're like, what's a domain? Okay, a domain is, so like hotcheetos.com, that's gonna be the domain, and you wanna see if that's taken. And so you're gonna be searching for is, purple unicorn. You're gonna look to see is .com taken? Do you want a .co? Do you want a .org? If your organization is a nonprofit, you would go for, .org. Here we are focused on the for-profit world. So you can go for a .com, which is the most common one. If it's available, I would say definitely get the .com. Get the .co if you want to feel a little bit, it's like more tech savvy. If you want it to feel a little bit more fresh, you can get the .co, but you probably want to own as many of them as possible. So if somebody goes to the other one, they just get redirected back to yours. And it's like, if you just buy it for a year, it's like under $10. So it's really affordable. So the other thing that I'm gonna be working with you on are how can you easily and really affordably and with the easiest tech get your business up and running. So you can go to GoDaddy.com, or if you use, so when we talk about building your website, I'm going to talk about some tools that you can use that again are super simple for you to build your website. You can also sometimes purchase a domain through that, but it's more expensive. So I would say and we're doing the easiest thing, right? We're not going to overcomplicate. Do you have other options, other ways that you can do this? Yes. It's just going to be, we're going to go with the easiest, most streamlined solution here. So you're going to go to godaddy.com. You're going to check to see if the domain that you want is available for your name. We're going to do this around your name. Now, if you have a name for your business, you're like, this is for sure the name of the business, get that one as well. But you need to own the domain for your name. So we're going to get domain for your name. And then you're gonna use a tool out there that's gonna help you build a website. At the beginning, we are not gonna be spending money before we're making money. So everything here that I'm gonna be sharing are going to be either free or really cheap tools for you to just get up and running. And once you're making profit, then we can start paying somebody else to help with the website so it like looks better for all of these things. Right now, we just gotta get you started, right? We have to have something that people can buy. We have to have an understanding of what it is, the problem that you're solving, who you're solving it for. We're starting with basics. So how to create your website. There are easy ways for you to do this, and let me talk about you in this day and age are not allowed. I am completely banning all of you watching this. You are banned from having an ugly website. You cannot, there are so many times that I go to a website and they're like, this is the topmost expert in blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, their website looks like it's from 1996. I'm gonna run as fast as I can. I would even do this when I was looking for my dentist, right? I was like looking for a new dentist in my new city, and they were like, this person has all the great reviews on Yelp and blah, 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 blah. But if your website is ugly, there is a problem. You cannot have an ugly website because that's a representation of you and your business. So do what you must, and there are free tools, there are cheap tools that can allow you to have a modern, respectable, beautiful, elegant, clean, awesome website. We have to pay attention to the details. So if I went to a business meeting and I showed up looking all the raggedy and gross and I smelled ugly and I was like, hi, I am a peak performance coach and I do business strategy. How many people do you think would take me seriously? Same thing with your website. So this I feel so passionately about. No ugly websites allowed. Hashtag no ugly websites. So, okay, that being said, we are going to use some of these tools that allow us to build beautiful, elegant, modern looking websites that actually belong in this century. If you are listening to this and if you have an ugly website, go remake your website right now. It needs to fit in this century. Otherwise, you just like priority. People are judging you on your website and you are losing money, you are losing customers, and you are not representing your business as well as you should be. It's your responsibility to. So, okay, done. I get really passionate about ugly websites. Okay, so you're going to go to either Weebly, Wix, Squarespace, or WordPress. All of these are going to be either free or really inexpensive for you to set things up. Say for Weebly, you will, if it's free, you're gonna have like www.johnsmith.com/Weebly or something along those lines. So it's gonna be branded by them. But again, and a few things here, if you cannot afford the lower price of getting rid of the Wix or the Weebly or the Squarespace, whatever it is, on the domain, we just want something up and running so people can be learning about you. We're gonna get to talk about your list and so you can have something to sell. So if free is the only option, all right, free it is. But if you can pay for you to have just, www.luzcgonzalez.com without any of the company's branding, I would really recommend, urge you to do that, because again, you are representing yourself as a professional, and so your domain and your website need to represent that. So those are four tools that you can use. So I'm gonna talk very quickly about the four. So eventually you're probably going to graduate to a WordPress. It just has, you own it, and most major and small businesses are going to be working with WordPress. It's just, especially if you're not super tech savvy and if you don't know how to do the sort of coding that needs to happen, your website's going to look ugly. And we already talked about how no ugly websites are allowed. So unless if you know how to do the coding that needs to happen for you to make a beautiful website, and it's also just going to take longer. So if we're working on a deadline, if we're working on let's get something up and running by the end of the day, by the end of the week, I'd recommend that we go with one of the other ones. I've worked with Wix, and you can have more design elements, but here's a consideration that you definitely have to keep in mind. So when a lot of people are on their phone, right? They're accessing your website and your content on mobile, and so the mobile interface, the way that people are able to access the experience of looking at your website on a mobile device, needs to be beautiful as well. And so what I found was things sort of broke when I used Wix because of the way that the columns are set up or the way that you put things together. And so what I found, so this is called mobile responsive. That's just a term in terms of the experience that you have both on normal computer and then on a mobile device, or an iPad or whatever it might be. And so it needs to be beautiful no matter what screen, what device you're using to look at your content. And so I'm a big fan of Weebly, and used it for a bunch of websites. And what I like about it is just it's super simple. It's drag and drop. It makes it beautiful. It has these templates. What is a template? A template is like a pre-designed option that you can use, and then you just change, pictures and tools. You're going to learn a little bit about the tools, and there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, but it's not a crazy learning curve for you to learn how to use, especially something like Weebly. Okay, the next thing that we need to do, oh my God, this is so important, and I want to shake some people. You need to create a list. We are like, what is the list? Your list, your database, you need to have a list of people. You need to have a way for when someone is interested in your stuff, in your message, in your expertise, in the work that you do, for them to be able to say, hey, I'd like to hear from you. Right now, if you do not have a list, they're like, hey, I like your stuff, but you are totally missing that connection. So we need to change that, and we need to change that ASAP. So there are ways that, so what I want you to do is I want you to have your website, and then you're going to have a tool. You can do a Google search. You can have a tool that will have a pop-up up here. If you go to my website, luzcgonzalez.com, there's gonna be a pop-up that appears 5 seconds. You can time it into your experience of being on my website that will ask you, hey, do you want to subscribe for my awesome newsletter? By the way, you get this cool training. So you need to have something. So when people go to your website or they go to your blog, but we're doing a website and we're doing it with your name because you are a brand, and we need to see ourselves as the brand that we are. So when they go to your website, they will be prompted to subscribe, and they are now part of your list. And so that means you want to create a goodie, like a freebie, something for free that provides incredible, value for your specific audience, that they'd be like, of course I want to sign up and subscribe. and you are gonna have that behind this pop-up that you're gonna have. And so for me, I think it's confidence training and an ebook, I believe. And so like all of these things are automated. That's the thing. You set them up at the beginning, and so it's automatic. I don't have to think about, like, when somebody goes to my website, I just get notified of the number of people that have joined my list since from going to my website. Okay, so so you're gonna be capturing leads. You're gonna be capturing people who want to be part of your tribe, who want to learn about your expertise, who want to have access to your products that you're gonna be creating. So number 3 is you're gonna create your list. And my recommendation is just create it on MailChimp. It's the easiest thing. It's free up to a certain number, but if you're just starting, you're gonna be fine. So do it on MailChimp. You're gonna start capturing leads with the pop-up. That's number 4. Number 5, I want you to have a uniform representation of your brand on all social media. So the same look and feel from your website should be the same thing across all social media platforms. Number 6, I want you to start thinking about how often you're going to be delivering valuable content to your audience. So initially, there's a ratio of amount of value per call to action, or per you selling something. So you want to make sure that you have a list. So what I do is I have a spreadsheet with all of the things that are just value add things, including like a long list of all of the business things that we're going to be talking about. And so if you're not part of my newsletter, you definitely want to join my newsletter. You want to go down to the description and sign up, because you're going to get all these epic trainings in the newsletter, including business trainings for creating your expertise empire. All right, so you want to have your calendar, right? So you have your list and you're capturing leads and you have your website. Now you are going to start sharing valuable content with your people, and you can repurpose it. What does that mean? Repurposing means that you have, this is kind of what I do with my videos, right? I do a video, and then this video is repurposed is also used for my podcast, and it's also used for newsletters, and I'm able to use parts of this for social media, etc. And so I want you to start thinking of how often you're going to be creating content. And yes, to be an expert, you're going to be creating content. And in our Business Fundamentals Monthly, we're going to be talking about which content you should be creating for the work that you want to be doing, and which ones convert better, like where you should be. Finally, and this is number 7. So this is a little bit of extra credit. This is harder. I want you to have something that you can sell on your website with people having the ability to buy. So you can use Stripe, you can use PayPal for people to pay for it, whether that be a course, whether that be a webinar. And if you want to learn how to do all of these things, or what they are, how to put them together, you should join Business Fundamentals Monthly. I want you to have something to sell on your website. And if you do all of these things, you will be well on your way to be at the beginning, to be more ready to launch your expert's empire, which is what we are here to do. So let me know what your business is. What is your area of expertise? What are you so excited to share with the world? What's your message? What's your passion? What's that calling? What's that thing that maybe you've been holding on and you haven't done anything with those years of experience, whether that be being a yoga teacher, being a dad, being really good at soccer, taking your experience as being an athlete and sharing in terms of how you can do peak performance, right? What is your area of expertise? And let me know in the comments, what is the product that you are going to be selling, that you're going to be putting on your website so you can sell. All right, guys, well, thank you so much for joining me for this week's episode. As always, it's such a pleasure to have you here. Make sure to subscribe, subscribe for all of my social media accounts. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I have a Facebook group. There's the podcast, writing the book this year. There's all the things. And if you want to learn how to, have your newsletter and your podcast and all that stuff, definitely want to be joining Business Fundamentals Monthly with us. We start in second week of May, and it's going to be epic. I can't wait to see you there, and I will catch you again next week.